Big numbers. It's getting big.
I thought I was like, we doing it big, and then I saw Piper was at like 109 episodes. Welcome to the 37th episode of the High Vibe Guys. That was me giving a shout out to Piper. I was looking online the other day and just happened to notice that she had 109 episodes of her podcast.
Book.
And I was a little jealous. Like, damn, I felt really good about 37, and then I saw Piper is like at 1 million, and she was doing a photo shoot.
She's so fly.
She's so fly. Well, yeah, welcome to the 37th episode of the High Vibe Guys. You got your boy, Jamon Booz, at the end of the table. Where I'm always sitting.
Gang.
Are we always going to sit in these same seats? I guess so.
I mean, I asked
Good synergy.
I asked about it. I think you wanted that big dog top spot, so.
Good synergy.
No, I sit here because, like, camera-wise, it's like...
HNIC.
I'm going to look like shit sitting on the side over here, so I was like, you know what? Let me sit at the end.
I was watching some of our episodes last night, and one of the episodes with E on there, I'm so sorry. One of the episodes with E on there, she mentioned you sit at the head of the table because you the HNIC.
Yes, and E also got me, and I'm going to get it printed this week, had that picture made. That's where she got that shit from. I think I said at some point on one show that I felt like the HNIC or some shit.
Yes.
She's right.
She did. Yeah.
She's right.
Yeah, chill out, bro. All right, we gave you your flowers on that show. Don't bring that to episode 37 like we about to. You're not about to keep sunning me and Asa.
I didn't sun you. That's not a sun.
All right.
Damn it, Dave. I don't feel like my mic's loud enough, man.
It's on for sure.
I mean,
we can hear you.
It's on, but like I feel like I got to put my mouth in this motherfucker to be heard.
Pause.
Also, before
Can't breathe in this.
let me finish introducing y'all too. And then we got Asa Bay wearing that hood clothes to the gentrifiers hoodie,
Crispy.
making lots of noise.
Shout out to Bryce Detroit.
Crispy.
Could you do a Bryce impersonation?
I cannot, man.
Okay, there you go.
That's all I got.
So when we were doing when we did the podcast with him, we gotta get Bryce back on the show. We had him on the show. I didn't know that was like a part of his person. So I was like, man, he's gonna just keep doing this weird shit throughout the show.
Oh man.
I really didn't know that was a thing, and I was like, oh,
bro.
okay, so
That's his.
you just not gonna take me seriously, huh?
Nah.
that's how I felt.
That's just who the God is.
Yeah, and I'm sure it has significance. Like after
It definitely does.
I didn't know him well enough at all to understand it. Like, oh, okay, he's got layers to his character type deal.
He's
So
a cosmic
many.
conductor, bro.
Boy.
And then now it's like, all right,
And he put on for his city.
yeah, he do.
On.
And y'all know how I be feeling when I feel like somebody ain't taking some shit serious. I'm like, this motherfucker. It came on this motherfucker and just don't give a damn, huh?
Yeah, one day
Niggas.
Bryce gonna come in, or when he comes in for his next episode, I'm gonna have some pictures ready.
Yeah.
For when we was in high school.
Hopefully we all have on a hood clothes to the gentrifiers hoodie when he comes on.
I already got mine ordered. I just gotta go swoop it from my brother.
Swoop it from your brother.
Yeah,
Bryce, make me a orange one so I can be different. No,
I think they just white and black right now, Booze. How about you just
so
order,
I can be different.
you just
You didn't hear that whole different piece.
Jesus Christ.
And then last but not least, because it's tired. You know, at some point you got to stop disrespecting.
Thank you.
You got Big Bro coming on. Akil.
Whoa.
I mean, shit. It's a new year.
It's a new day. It's a new season.
You know, it's a new year, so we gonna bring it in righteous.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Come on.
One time.
Next episode, back to the bullshit.
We got Akil Tally over here to the left. And welcome to the 37th episode of the High Vibe Guys. We in this thing. I had something to say that I lost too, man. It was real relevant, but I wanted to get through that intro because it was like, all right, this is about to drag out. What was the news piece again?
Something about Mary Jane.
No, that was the second.
Oh, the second one.
The first one was
Stock.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. So,
In particular.
Was it like Black Presence?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah, that's what it was. We want to just kind of get into this whole, because it is a phenomena to some extent, the interest in stocks. Or I also thought that, like, you know, I think it's trending, which is how things go in our society now. You know, I think it is trending. And it was something that a brother has said on Facebook along the lines where, like, kind of just saying that people don't have a full understanding and they kind of just, jumping on the bandwagon. And I had a conversation with somebody else about it, and I was like, man, shit, I'm just happy that we are invested or interested in something other than social media, the silhouette challenge, the busted challenge, or something along those lines, man, or just some general ignorant shit that will often lead to so I'm not trying to be condescending to individuals who don't necessarily have the same interests as myself or you guys, but it is just great to see a lot of people jumping on to this particular train and actually making some money out of it, man. Like, fuck it, if we can control or impact Wall Street, I say we do it, because they fucking manipulated and controlled us for the past 100 years.
Facts.
Akil, I know you have a lot to say on this topic.
Man, I mean, this is, I think, the veggie back, what you were saying, I think it's just like super fly that we got a generation of young black kids that are invested in their growth. You know what I'm saying? That seems to be the wave with this generation. They seem to want to get to the bag real heavy. And I'm seeing a lot of people posting about stock on social media. A lot of people starting groups.
Yeah, I'm seeing very similar things.
I've seen two trains of thought, really.
Two trains
Two trains of thought. When it comes to this, you got, like, I'm a part of a couple different stock groups on Facebook. And me, you, and our big bro, L, and our little sis, CJ.
CJ's older than me.
All right, well, my little sis.
Yeah.
CJ. And, us in our group threads, we talk about stocks on a regular basis. The two trains of thought that I've seen.
Oh, God, it's so hard for me not to do two trains every time.
Two trains.
Thank you. Keep it. I am smoking on that gas.
I love that dude, bro. First one being, this is pretty dope that people are jumping on to, the stock market wave. They're getting involved. You know what I'm saying? They're using their money wisely. I guess.
They're attempting to.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to, trying to build generational wealth, what we all aspire to do.
And I would say, man, shit, in our community, we have such poor financial literacy that it's like, shit, we got to start somewhere. I say you just got to, and like, shit, that's even for myself. And my mother tried to teach me how to balance a checkbook and stuff, but, she was fighting against society. So I'm definitely, just like you're saying, man, like, shit, people are trying to figure it out. And it's a hard puzzle to figure out, there's a lot of other things in life that go on. And I think the older I get, it's like I realize why you put things in a baby now. You know what I mean? Because it's like, shit, your brain, it's not even that it's just straight, like, calloused as much as you're dealing with a lot as an adult. And it's hard to, like, say, you know what, let me also go back and revisit my financial literacy and figure this part of my life out, too.
And that's when you are susceptible to absorb the most info is at that age too. Like, babies can take on a whole lot. People just don't invest in their children, which is kind of sad. But anyway, that's a whole nother.
That kind of goes back to episode 35 with Passion Murray and where she was talking about those different experiences that she had in Mississippi and Japan, and how they molded her into being this dynamic individual. And then also, if you just want to go back to the bag piece where she talked about, like, she said, man, I have multiple streams of income. When the pandemic hit, I was on this wave. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not finna put all my energy into a single bag.
Yeah, that was. Anyways.
Yeah.
Have a whole nother episode with her right now.
Is she coming on the show today?
I know, right?
Is she coming on today?
Anyway.
I text her.
Just pull up the last 10 minutes.
Dave, let me ask you, what did you think of that show?
Which one? Sorry.
35 with Passion Murray. I'm just
Oh,
curious.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
No, that was a great conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But,
she went off for sure.
Yeah. But the other train of thought with the stock market is people who giving caution, you know what I'm saying? People who might have a little experience giving off cautionary tales, like if you don't have a certain amount of money, you don't want to jump in. If you're just jumping in with a couple $100s, you're wasting your time. If you're not, I saw within my group guy that obviously, like, you know, he kind of bragging in that boy because he posted a pic of his gains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a couple $100,000. So, you know, he was kind of, you know, telling people like, yo, I jumped in, I had $10,000 and I put $10,000 into Tesla and it turned into 40. And then I was able to play. If you just jumping in with $400 or $500, that's cool, but you're gonna be doing this for some years.
I was about to say, I think that's a smart way to go about it if you ain't got long bread.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, that's what I did. I jumped in with like 3.
Mm-hmm.
I played with it. I made like 50, 60, and then when I got more bread, I jumped in with I put another 200 in, another 3. I was actually going through my it's a thing. It's an app. It's a part of the Webull app where you can look at your how much you put in, how much you taken out, how much you received. So I put a lot of money in, but I gained over it.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's only like $800. But I also looked at it too, like it's a game, and I saw it as like a savings account too. When I was looking at it, I was like, man, shit, I put away money, and then I made money on the money that I'm spending, and then I'm learning something. So it's like even if it do take you 2 years to get to $10,000, if you started with $6,000, that's $4,000 you made. Plus you got $4,000 $4,000 saved. So
yeah, I tend to lean towards that because I've seen it up front personally and within myself. My bro Cliff put me on to Tesla like last summer, and I jumped in a couple different times, took money out, jumped in. Then I just decided to put money in and let it sit. And you know what I'm saying? I've seen gains just from Tesla alone, which made me dive into other stuff. But yeah.
And the stock market opened strong today because of the lowered amount of people filing for unemployment. So I was happy about that. So
That'll change.
hey, Dave, keep your pessimism to the other side of the table, bro. All right.
Dave, keep your facts down there, buddy. All right? I'm trying to hear that shit.
I was up. I was up $48 this morning, Dave.
I know, right?
No shit on my parade, buddy.
No, I saw several posts this morning on Facebook that they have now reopened the PUA claims. So you're more likely to see
An increase.
a jump. Yeah.
What's PUA?
So that's the pandemic unemployment assistance.
Oh, okay.
So the people that were like Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, like people that didn't qualify for regular unemployment. I guess that was shut down since the end of December. Because that was part of the bill that like Trump sat on, and didn't sign it until like a day too late. And so shit got delayed, and so I think it just opened up in the last day or two again.
What's that amount? $400 a week now?
It's, maybe, yeah.
Man, let them go up to $800 a week.
Right.
Say, I'm out of here.
I'm out this motherfucker. God,
I'm out.
So yeah, you guys want to jump into today's topic? I want you to introduce it, at least your portion of it. You've been quiet on the show, man. You got to say something.
I wanted to talk about how, like, I forget his name, but it was a young brother. This guy, like, he had to be looking like 8, 9 years old, but he made $3,000.
Yeah.
Oh, he got the stocks that he got for
Yeah.
Kwanzaa. Somebody bought
GameStop.
him GameStop stocks
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
His
that.
for
mom.
Kwanzaa, and he wound up making like $3,000.
Yeah, his mom did.
They were also Kwanzaa stocks.
Yeah.
Oh, what a win-win
Come
for the
on,
black community.
And it was dirt cheap. It was like $6 when she bought them.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, she bought them like 6 shares. I
So
think.
did you hear the guy that you gotta love, who's got to be like riding this out by the CEO of GameStop, just took the job 2 years ago, and they gave him $2.3 million in stock.
Ugh.
It was at 20 when he got it. It went as low as 10. His net worth is now like $8.1 billion. If this stuff holds through. So I mean, it's interesting to watch. Just some of the ripple effect of this whole squeeze and what's going on. It's fun.
You just made me want to reinvest some of my time into this shit.
Oh, bro.
Damn. Well, wow.
It's
about
only
a
showing
come
us
up,
what's
bro.
possible, though. You
Yeah.
know?
And
It's
it-
just a glimpse.
And like you say, And this is a prime example of why just a couple dollars you never know if you try to play with it right. Because $60, whatever he put in, has transformed into $3,000 for this young man. That's a life-changing amount of money at that age, or at least a mind-changing amount of money.
What?
Spurred me with $3,000 when I was 9 years old, and there's no telling what particular paths you would take in life, man.
Yeah, my final thought on this is if you got some disposable income that ain't going to hurt you, it ain't going to cause your lights to get cut off and your kids to go without food, throw it in stock, bro. You got $500 that's just sitting around and you not going to hurt if you lose it, because that's possible. That's something you got to understand. Anything could happen. When 9/11 happened, the stock market crashed. People lost millions and billions of dollars. So anything can happen. You're not in control of anything on this planet. But if it's some bread that ain't going to hurt, you might as well.
That's what I said. The biggest scare or the biggest caution that I've seen is that what we're seeing now is very similar to both 1999 and 2008, where people started buying based on emotion rather than actual like reality, like facts and figures and that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I mean, like the Wall Street Bets guy, I give him all the props and credit in the world, because I mean that whole thing, like reading through prospectus after prospectus after prospectus to find out where a hedge fund has an enormous short position. Dude, that is not thrilling reading. Like, that is not. I mean, that's like me. I'd get like a page in and be asleep. But I mean, he did his homework, figured out that someone had done something really, really stupid, and there was a way to take advantage of it. And so I give him all the credit in the world for it. Like, I don't agree with the. Like, dude, Robin Hood's going to get annihilated by these lawsuits because they absolutely acted illegally. Same thing with, like Webull and a few others that, tried to limit.
No, don't say about Webull. Don't say that.
Well, no, but they limited trading for like you and I, while the hedge funds had no limits whatsoever on them. And so I mean, the SEC is going to get involved. You're going to see a shakeup in that industry, the retail side of things over the next 6 months to a year for sure.
Oh man, please put me on that fucking civil suit. Let me know on that suit. Let me put my name on that boy. Let me get $400 out of that, and it's good. Dave, could you cut my mic up just a little bit? I feel like Dave has the most booming voice in the room. I want to try to match that. All right.
Oh my God.
So back to the actual show topic now.
Yes.
So my idea today was to focus on excuses, because I hear a lot of people, especially up in age, this happened to me in life, that happened to me, my husband died, and life is just like this now. We tend to box ourselves in and limit ourselves based on some like single event or even a combination of events, and we forget, we smack dab in the middle of infinity all the time, and yet we just get, closed in by these limited beliefs. So just focusing, highlighting on that real quick. What now? You got into a car accident. Yeah, your mama died. Yeah, whatever happened. What you about to do about it now? You about to sit there and just, complain for the rest of your life, twiddle your fingers, put that bad energy on other people? Or are you about to tap in and just, explore the infinite range, of possibilities?
With that, do you think that it's like coupled with? I feel like you turn my mic down. Damn it! There you go. It's just the way it's faced, I think, man. Do you think that it's coupled with like motivation? Because I think excuses is part of it. I think excuses gives you a way out, and then also like, what's your source of motivation to be better?
Well, when I meditate, I tap in and I think about everything that has been done, and I think about the idea or the concept that, all of these things came from somebody's mind, so what am I about to bring to the table this lifetime? That type of mentality, that perspective. And it just takes me to this, place with no limitations, and that's where I could draw from. But motivation does play a role. I bear witness to that. When I notice my inspiration increase or my momentum accelerate, when I'm inspired by, family and friends or just people I might admire, you know what I'm saying? That definitely puts a battery in my back, for lack of better words. But yeah, I can see that complementing, Excuses.
What about you?
I mean, you talking about motivation?
Well, yeah, motivation.
Or
I guess your thoughts. You can give me your thoughts on. You can lay it all out.
in terms of excuses, years ago I was terrible with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I never took responsibility for my actions or things that I did. Yeah, I was terrible with that. But as of late, that's something that I focused on and made an attempt to.
What motivates you to change then? What was the turning point?
Multiple conversations with people I respected, people like you, people like Big L, my brother Larry. My dad passed in 2014. Those conversations used to come from him, but I don't know why it works like this. Those conversations don't hit as hard or aren't as impactful until you hear them from like a peer.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Red Claw because I definitely I done said this probably on the air 100 times. I to kill a whole bunch of shit. The Red Claw came and said the exact same thing, and we got in the car and was like, man, guess what Red Claw just told me? And I was ready to
Dominic.
But yeah. But it is. I do get it now. Like coming from different sources, it just means different things, and it's fucking it's just a part of life. It's like fuck it. Shit. If your people get the message, then they get the message. Why fucking be upset where it came from? You know what I mean?
Now, the way that I handle any of that type of energy or whatever within myself is, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I've become super introspective as I've gotten older. Real quick to take my time responding to things that may, upset me or make me feel a type of way. In terms of motivation for changing, it's external and internal motivations for me. The external being my kids. Like that's always gonna be a motivation for everything.
When this motherfucker Meek Mill replied, somebody said, you only love yourself. And Meek Mill responded, you haven't had kids yet or some shit like that. I said, damn, kids gotta be influential.
Yeah.
I have often said you don't actually understand the meaning of the phrase unconditional love until you have kids. Like you might have like a partner, a spouse, or whatever, and think that they're the do all, end all, be all of your existence. And then this little creature pops out, and you realize that you would throw yourself in front of a bus to keep them from getting a paper cut. It's a whole, and it's funny to me how many times I've had that conversation and then with friends, and then as soon as they have kids, like usually within about 6 months, I get the, damn dude, you were right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but that is, that's built in.
One day,
motivation.
sooner or later, me and Isaac gonna have that same experience, man.
One day.
Yeah,
one day for you guys.
No, but honestly, one of the things that I think was like the biggest kind of kick for me was when somebody told me you should never take criticism from anybody you wouldn't take advice from.
Facts. Facts and
I like
facts. Facts and facts.
yeah.
What's that? Kanye got a line like that. I don't listen to people.
Yeah, his was kind of egotistic because it was like, who make less money than me or something like that.
Less money.
Okay, Kanye. Jeez Louise, bro.
That's Dave.
That's
I don't
just
listen
ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
I'll jump in on this a little bit and say that I used to be extra ambitious when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, I probably said this on the air before, but I'll never forget, I was at Eastern Michigan, and a lady that I was working with at this office was like, you're going to be the president. And I was like, yeah, you're right. it was like I was that confident. And it was like, shit. I was like, yeah, you're right. I'll probably be president of some shit and be running this world. And I told a good friend of mine, Jasmine Lee, one of my best friends, that I'm never going to work for anybody. It's like 22, 23.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I remember, like, a couple years later, I was working in, like, the Big and Tall store, right? And I was like, hold up, fucking this shit ain't right. What's going on? And it's like I'm going through, like, being arrogant. And I had to be really humbled. And I got to a point where I was really, really humbled in, like, 2010. Just made a lot of poor decisions with my time and how I was investing my time, just thinking that I'm so dope that it's gonna just happen. You know what I mean? Like I'm just walking to the right situation, and I really got to a point where I was like extremely depressed for years, man. I was extremely depressed, and got a job where it was like had a glimmer of at least making money to pay bills and get out of debt and not stop sleeping off my floor, stop sleeping on my floor, and the motivation didn't really kick in until I started to. It's just like when I was talking about this dude who was losing weight, and he really didn't get pumped about losing weight till he lost like 40 pounds or something. You know what I mean? Like he had to have some traction. And I really didn't get motivated to really start doing things and making moves until I was really humbled, and the humility and the need to keep moving and to survive pushed me to keep making like one step after another. Like you gotta, either you can give up or you just gotta keep taking steps. So I kept taking steps to just survive, and then I was humble, and then opportunities started to present themselves. And then I got back to a place where I was like, all right, man, them dreams you had were real. You just were going about it the wrong way. The person who you thought you were was real. It just also was full with a lot of bullshit. And now you got to try to figure out how to go about achieving your goals and being better than who you were before. But it's not easy. And I guess that's why I kind of talked about motivation, because I can see when, if you're not motivated, man, if you don't have, and I would say too that it was the people around me. Like you said, externally, it was a lot of the people around me. If you got the wrong people around you, man, I can see where it is hard to pull yourself up out of that shit. You know what I mean? And then, I think we're blessed to have the right parents to have instilled some good things inside of us. So even when we hit the hard times, you still got some of that. You still have your foundation supports you enough. You know what I mean? In order for you to be able to stand up for yourself and move forward. But a lot of people's foundation is whack too. And it's like, for those people, man, those are the ones who I think I have the most different level of respect for. I can't think of this lady's name, but she was like one of those ladies in the like they made a meme about her. She was on the news, and I can't remember it might have been like a lady. She was like, they stealing everything, or they doing something else. I don't know, but it's a black lady. She was on drugs. She got on the news, and they made a meme about her, right? And it was like probably 10 years ago. And like, she was outside of the house and like in a robe looking crazy and cracked out. And like, it was like, some viral thing that was funny for like a couple years where they just made fun of her. And then like recently, she's like off of drugs. She, she's in the church and like, she's just living a good life. Like she ain't like, a doctor or nothing, but like to transform like that, you know what I mean? That's a big transformation. And those are the people, man, who I think I have the utmost respect for, because even like we were talking about Samuel L. Jackson earlier, and I guess this kind of goes to something we were talking about too as well, is like it's never too late. But we were talking about Sam Jackson and how like he was addicted to crack for a long time as well. And those people, man, who do it and have to find that internal inspiration at a different age in life, I got a huge respect for you. Really do.
Yeah, man, it's never, ever, ever too late, bro. That, like we was talking about, that Samuel L. Jackson story is motivation, bro. Like, 43 years old, 44, strung off crack, and, you know what I'm saying, his kids actually witnessed him smoking, and he ended up, you know what I'm saying, I think he told the story where he was high on the set of his first movie. But look at him now, you know what I'm saying. I think Samuel L. Jackson like 70, close to 70.
Is he 70? God.
65, 70, he up there. You know what I'm saying? First movie, he was in early 90s, I think. Like 40 years old, early 90s. Math, you're going to be 65, 70 years old, bro. And he is flourishing. He
72.
72,
Wow.
so.
I had no clue he was that old.
And I guarantee you he got bread he's sitting on, and he got kids that he could leave his legacy to, because he built a legacy, but he didn't start that legacy till he was in his 40s, bro.
If Samuel L. Jackson invested in GameStop, he winning.
Right.
I was gonna ask you, Austin, man. So I'm sure you see a gamut of people who make excuses, and like, what is normally that conversation like? Because
You talking about health consultations?
yeah,
Oh man,
yeah. I be looking like sometimes I look at your memes, man, and I was like, man, I can imagine some of the people who come to you because you got a real mixed bag of people who you touch, and like all types of individuals from extremely in the neighborhood to those individuals who are like affluent. I've seen you interact with everybody. How do you kind of help people navigate those extreme differences and probably excuses and mentalities they bring to the table?
So at the end of the day, we are the same. We might like for example, DNA, for example. You know what I'm saying? We are so similar, and we got like this small amount of us that makes us appear as though we're different. We grew up in different places, households, influences, et cetera, et cetera. But, the crux, the majority of us are, damn near identical. At least it's how we function, as far as that goes. So I just keep that in mind, and just use like the knowledge itself as a template or a blueprint that everybody else, can fall into. So whatever they talking about, they still a human being. They still, got to deal with the elements. They still have a mind. So I just remind them of who they are and use it as a opportunity to talk about empowerment, because that's the name of the game. That's probably the best. That's probably the number one benefit for coming to me, outside of course, transforming and healing up or whatever. But that sense of empowerment to the point where you don't have to keep going outside of self. And once they start to, like the aha moments during the conversation, by the time they get done, it's a wrap. They don't even see a reason to make another excuse. Outside of, they might have habits, but that's something that they got to switch up. Or people around them, they might have to switch them up. But, I just put a flashlight right there where they might have just had some darkness at.
I like, I got to quit saying when I give like positive moments, because it's like weird now. It's like, I can't help it though. It's like, it's real satisfying information right there. Oh, wow. Ooh.
That's bro. That's look at sound. That's how it is. That's a universal sound.
Pause.
What are we pausing for?
What I say? What you talking about now?
Pausing booze and that damn.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
If you smile overseas, if you say aha, something like these are universal things.
It's gratifying.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say too, man. I think it goes back to, in part, who tells you too the information that you're getting, because the source matters, man. I don't a random Joe Smo, or not so random Joe Smo can tell me something and I can be like, all right. And then, you know what I mean? It happens like, it's the truth. It's kind of like I was just saying earlier. It's the truth. I think you got to have a level of respect for a person, too, for words to have some influence. Like, it ain't just like what you saying. I think it's also you saying it. I can't remember who I was telling somebody. I was telling somebody, I was like, it's the way Asa puts things together. I'll never forget when we was outside, it was a episode, I don't know why you weren't here yet, but it was some ladies who recorded it before us.
Yeah.
And, like, they asked about the show, and, like, they were, like, really, like, suburban-looking white ladies, right? And well, they were nice. And it was like, hey, how are you doing today, guys? Right? And what's your show about? And I remember it was like, you probably don't give a fuck. That's what I was thinking.
Actually, for what it's worth, they actually did. Like,
well,
yeah.
It was the way Asa put it together so well. Asa described the show, and I was like, God damn it. I could have said that, but it wouldn't have been the same. I remember thinking that shit, like, it just wouldn't have worked.
We like Detroit, and
that's how I felt.
we want to talk about it.
And black stuff.
And we're cool.
Nah, man.
That's, okay. And to God, I actually we're getting super full down here with people starting new shows and that kind of stuff. And I always like have a phone call with somebody before they get started, or like have them meet me down here and that kind of stuff. This one girl, so I was like, oh, so have you thought through what your show's gonna be about? Yada yada yada. Looks me dead in the eye and just says, black stuff. So that's why I just started laughing. Yep. I was like, all right, cool.
Hey,
is she doing it by herself? Because it sounds like that's gonna be some dead air.
In 5 years, 2.2 million followers to the Black Stuff podcast.
Oh God,
hey, man.
She gonna be on that boy like, bitch. My motherfucking nails is popping.
That's the next level of podcasting.
She gonna have 9 sponsors. I'm
just
sponsored by L'Oreal, bitch. Like, damn, bro. We should have got with her.
Hey man, you just gave me an idea. We gonna put a podcasting studio in the hood, and we gonna wait for that wave to come in, and we gonna let dope dealers on. We gonna let people who got.
I've actually had and it's 5-6 different conversations now over the years about opening up a studio somewhere in one of the neighborhoods, and it never comes to be. And it bugs me. So actually, I don't know if you guys know, not to sidetrack you too much, but we're doing one of our free podcast day things this weekend.
Oh, boy.
So, I mean, if you've got people that you want to get their voice out and that kind of stuff, let me know.
Edric, get your ass on the air.
Sure.
Edric, I'm calling you out.
Podcast on 7 Mile and Conant.
Man, we got the location.
Pookie, Ray Ray, and TT show.
Rachel at Mary Grove College. We got everything we need. We can have a podcasting studio in there in 2 weeks.
We've built out. I built out a studio in a school. It's a continuing education center because it's for like kids that have gone through some shit.
Alternative school.
And it's at like 16 and a half in Gratiot. It's out by me. But I mean, like that was honestly like that's one of the projects I'm kind of the most proud of, like because it gives them, and then taught them how to like engineer shows and taught them how to edit shows and taught them, so now they have stuff they can move forward with, and they get their voices out there.
That's fly. To again, veggie back off the kind of way Dave was going, and to give Dave his flowers because that's fly giving back to the youth. I read a story that trade skill jobs are like null and void right now in terms of the younger kid. They got jobs starting kids off after like 4 or 5 years. Not starting, but after 4 or 5 years of putting in the work and being an apprentice, making like $75 to $90 an hour.
My nephew is an electrician. He is 23. He is making north of 70.
It's crazy, bro.
It's because they can't find him. Like
they can't find
it's our own fault. Like we spent an entire generation telling kids blue collar work is shit.
Yeah,
you got to go to college and rack up debt and all that other crap.
There we go.
And so now, dude, they took because when he was like 16 and he bought his first motorcycle, he was all excited, and he had to like do some work on it. And he asked me if I could use my garage. I'm like, dude, why don't you use the shop class at your school? Like that's what the kids when I was growing up. And he was like, what shop class? I was like, wait, what? Like, how is that a thing? Like yeah.
And that I guarantee you. Ooh, that's another show topic. I guarantee you that was on purpose. That was intentional. Did
you see the bill that just passed yesterday that Whitmer pushed through? Free community college or trade school for anyone 25 and over.
I did see that.
I would say that I don't think it's intentional. I think it was a greedy move from colleges to demoralize trade schools to make money and profit off of it.
I can see that. Yep.
Because professors want to get tenure and to be able to charge, $120,000. I think it was just like a mistake by society, and I think also too like. I don't think it was as intentional because shit, we need these services. It ain't like some things where it's like you can get by without us. You need somebody to do plumbing. Like that service will always be necessary. I think there was when I was coming up, if you weren't going to college, you were looked at like the stupid person. That was like literally the vibe when I was in high school. It was like, what college you going to? I'm not. You're gonna be a janitor, buddy. You know what I mean? But a janitor's needed, and that was like the vibe. So you go to a 4-year college, you get $50,000-$60,000 in debt, which is what I was and what I am, because I ain't paying that shit back. Fuck Sally Mae. You get $50-60 grand in debt, and then you get out and you got to go fucking work at Whole Foods. It's like all right, you need to get a master's now. Yep. Oh, the master's ain't quite popping. And this is really off topic, but I got friends who are definitely got doctorates, and they make $50 grand a year, and they got $120,000-$200,000 in debt. Pure bullshit. That's my personal take on that.
So you have your BS, which is bullshit, and then you have your MS, which is more shit, and then you have your PhD, which is just piled higher and deeper.
Yeah. And I think the other thing was like, by the year 2020, robots are gonna be fixing the power line, so you ain't got to worry about that. And we're gonna be in flying cars, and we're gonna eat fucking meals. You put a cube in the microwave, and you get Thanksgiving. You know,
the Jetsons, son.
And like shit, you know, because that's a whole different path I can go down.
Yeah, man.
That was the mentality, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me just chill, because it's going to be like that anyway.
Yeah, I
I work towards that.
It used to be a show called Beyond the Year 2000 on the Discovery Channel. I used to be a hyper nerd, boy. And it would be like, in the year 2017, people will pretty much be wearing moon boots where they can bounce from one city to another. Yeah. It was just talking about like what they thought the world would be like in like a decade.
Yeah.
So like you'd be like, man, flying cars, moon boots, cube food. I'm fucking can't wait. I just gotta live 5 more years and I'm in there. You know what I mean?
That's funny. I just watched a show that was like what it's gonna be like in 2030, and they were making like crazy proclamations like that too. Like what was one of them? Well, this one wasn't so crazy. They said we would rent everything, and they would be delivered to us by drones within like 15 to 20 minutes.
I'm curious to see. I can see what I've heard that before too.
Yeah.
So curious.
Like you wouldn't own a PS5. You would rent it for like a month at a certain price, and
I can see that.
At the end of the month it would go back to the warehouse.
That
for waste and stuff like that.
Subscriptions are like such a fucking bag too.
It's already happening with cars. I mean, look at, you've got an entire generation coming up that's like, why do I want to buy a car? Mm-hmm. Why do I want to buy a house?
Why do you want to buy a house?
Why do I, why? Other than society saying I should, why? Because granted, it got a little twitchy with all this nonsense and Ubers and Lyfts and all that kind of, the rideshare, got hard to find them. Mm-hmm. But normal state of things, yeah. Like, why do you need a car?
Mm-hmm. Especially if you live in a city like Chicago or something, where the mass transit is like good.
The one thing about renting shit and leasing is like, I think it creates this mentality in part where it's like, fuck owning. I only need a couple dollars to have this, right? Or to use it. And you start to do that with everything. I'm going to go ahead and put the Gucci loafers on layaway. I'm going to get to them one day. I'm going to go ahead and get this on lease. I think it's a mentality where it's like, ownership, I'm not saying this is real, this is just a thought. It makes you think differently about how you approach something because it's got to be a little bit more methodical. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Renting or the borrow or leasing, I think it makes it easier to tap into shit without having all the money for it.
And also, you ain't going to take care of it.
It's not mine. I don't have to give a shit about it.
Yep. But, yeah, exactly, man. And, like, when I got my house, it's like,
I'm going to be skateboarding in them Gucci loafers.
Or that fucking apartment that, like, my last apartment, when I walked out of that boy, I was like, when did I put this hole in the wall? I swear to God, I had that thought. As I'm patching it up one night, I'm like, man, I really got wild one night.
Airbox, feel the heat. What is you doing, bro? What the hell is you doing? What montage is this?
God damn, should have had them 11 Coronas that night.
Got the Last Dragon on the big screen.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nuts.
Yeah, fuck this. I'll show you, Instructor Vaughn.
Put my foot through the bathtub. This is fucking ridiculous.
Yo, wild, bro.
I need this bathtub. I'm serious, but I did. When I was walking out, fridge was toe up. I remember I was trying to clean the fridge, and I got to a point, I was like, fuck it, they can have it.
I don't even want this security deposit
anymore.
That's
what I swear to God, I got to a point, and then
security deposit was $9,000. I don't want it.
Like a year later, I was at the crib, and I was like, man, did I ever get my security deposit back? And I'm thinking like, hell no, I didn't get that shit
They
back.
sent you a letter like, hey, man, you still owe us $300, bro.
Probably. Dishwasher.
How'd you get piss on the ceiling?
Oh, God. For real. How did I?
R. Kelly came over. It was a thing.
What the hell is going on?
It's doo-doo, baby.
Ooh, this show is so left.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
But, yeah. Excuses.
Right. He said, yeah. Excuses.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like I listen to, and you're seeing a lot of pushback now with, no, don't accept the answer from, your parents or your grandparents, that's the way I was raised. Because like, dude, my whole thing, dude, I could not have had a more racist, homophobic jackass of a stepfather when I was growing up.
Yikes.
But it didn't shape me. You can't blame what happens to you, or you can only blame what happens to you in your environment for so long.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at some point in time, you have to handle your shit, and you have to make decisions that you are going to be different than that, if that's who you want to be. If you want to be that racist piece of shit, then okay, just understand that you have made that decision, and that's your life, not your parents anymore.
So you said take ownership for your actions and thoughts at some point.
It's your mind, for sure.
See, and to me, that's being an adult, and I think that's the part that people miss is, it's accountability is one of the hugest things that's missing right now. I mean, dude, you got an argument going on in the House of Representatives right now because this crazy ass bitch is like still pushing Trump conspiracy theories, talking about Jewish space lasers starting the forest fires in California. Hand to God, actual quote: Jewish space lasers.
I'm looking that up. I'm looking that shit up.
Not to be funny, but
and yet they're trying to not hold her accountable.
I bet you me and her will have really awesome conversations. Damn, you said what? Lasers from the space? Oh man.
Yeah, go ahead. Google Jewish space laser. Seriously.
Oh yeah, it's an actual thing.
Oh no, I try not to make shit up.
A congresswoman named I can't pronounce it, her first name because I can't read. Last name Taylor Greene definitely made the claim about wildfires being started by Jewish space laser.
And she was a big ass like QAnon conspirity theory pusher and all that stuff.
I'm going into politics next. Fuck it. This is fucking ridiculous.
See, but here's the sad part.
She's a white lady and got into politics. She's pretty.
Exactly. What we're seeing now is there's some guy in Ohio that just got elected to a House seat. He's a plumber. Dude, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But somebody asked him, like, okay, so what are the three branches of government?
Oh no, Dave, do not.
And he had no idea.
Oh,
and I'm okay. And here's the thing: it's not. And I'm not saying this because he's a plumber. I'm saying I don't care who you are. There's a certain level of information you should have in your head.
I think that's like day one, right?
Before you, dude, that's like fourth grade. Like, did you like I Schoolhouse Rock?
He should be like, yo, what branch is the president in?
He was
right.
He was searching for words that was even close to the fiduciary,
the legislative and judicial,
right?
And
the melatonin rare. What? Nah, bro. No.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like, and so that's the thing, and I do think that's the downside of democracy. I mean, the last 4 years we saw the downside of democracy.
Yeah.
That anybody can get into any office, but I think it's almost like I've always said, for any civil lawsuit that's filed, there has to be a panel of at least like 5 people.
I would argue just real quick, I would say that's not the downside of the democracy because not anybody in this country can get into any office. That ain't real. You gotta have the right look, and you gotta be the right. You gotta have the right things going.
Paper.
That's the whack thing about our fucking democracy is it ain't a democracy. You know what I mean? Because a poor person from one of these neighborhoods is gonna have a hell of a time becoming president. This rich asshole and been an asshole for a long time became president. That's the bullshit about the American democracy. And I'm not saying there's a great one out there or perfect, but just the thought that you said that because I don't think that it's equal for all type shit available for all.
True.
Agreed.
But I mean, you can look at and this is where getting into the whole excuses things. Like you were talking about. So like and it's a great analogy for the Wall Street bets thing, and it's something that I said, 10 years ago when I wound up on Flashpoint because people misinterpreted what I said.
Oh shit.
Because my whole thing was, okay, look, yeah, if you're mad about people buying buildings in your neighborhoods and because they're not going to do what you want to do, get together and do it. One guy with $100,000 is no different than 100 people with $1,000. Yeah. Do it. It's or 1,000 people with $100. If it matters that much to you, find a goddamn way. Get yourself involved. And that was my whole point, was get involved. Because, yeah, that person from the neighborhood might have a harder time getting there, but can still get there. get yourself propped up as a selectman, get yourself propped up on the council, and then start making a name for yourself, get yourself propped up to a state position, then, try to make a run. I mean, dude, America loves the underdog story. Well, until you get too successful and then we want to slap you back down. But for a while there, we love the underdog story.
Definitely.
Dave, I want to close. You had a good little rant right there, and I had some comeback notes for you. But we're going to wrap up this episode.
You want to do some gratitude?
I did have a good. No, fuck it. I ain't going to say my shit. Yeah.
No, I'm good. Go.
No, Dave. We want to wrap up the show and go to the next one. We pay you, Dave. You don't pay us. True. Unless you start want to pay us. All right. Who wants to kick off some appreciations?
Man, I just want to shout out all of specifically the female elders. They've been reaching out a lot, over the last few months or whatever, just checking in, tapping in. I ain't talked to you in a minute or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just that motherly, divine feminine energy spirit, man. I really appreciate it, I don't want nothing. I just called to check on you to make sure you were okay. You were on my heart. That type of vibe, like that can change things, First thing in the morning, right in the middle with something where you got issues going on, that could be a game changer. So I just want to shout out not only the ones that reached out to me, but all of the ones who just, exist today, that still got that love in them, flowing and operating as a vessel for that divine feminine energy. Thank you. Shout out to you.
Oh, go.
That was beautiful. Always love for the mamas and the babas. I want to appreciate my beautiful babies. Asia, Elijah, Nyla, Luna. They keep me in the best mood. They are the funniest kids in the world. I had Luna yesterday, and I got to get it recorded. She is the funniest baby in the world. So when she wants something from me, it's very nonverbal. If she wants something to drink, she'll just walk up to me. She'll take my hand, and then she'll put her cup in my hand, and then she'll walk away. I'll bring back water, whatever, and as I'm handing it to her, she's doing this, the Birdman rub with the hand. It's just little things, man, on a daily basis. My eldest chewing me out, you know what I'm saying, in the best possible way for something that, I keep between me and her. But you know what I'm saying? It's just they give you so much life. And one day, y'all cats gonna be able to see why I talk about my baby so much and why they're so important to me and why I push, why they're the external motivation. But, that's my appreciation, my beautiful, beautiful and handsome babies.
My appreciation, I just saw a cat, what's I think his name? Saxophone player just rolled by. They'll come by the store all the time.
Oh, okay.
Melvin? Nah, I'm thinking somebody else. He look like Melvin Peters though.
Not Yancey?
Nah.
With the locks?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Oh. What's his name?
I think it's Yancey.
You know his first name? Is that his first name?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to do a shout out to just to parents. But it was coming from a place of, I actually thought about it doing earlier when we were talking about the financial literacy piece. Just the parents who actually put that shit inside their kids at a young age, because it's something that our community needs, and it's a real thing. And I really do be respecting people who really can live on a shoestring budget, and you think they got it all, or you see people. It's a person I know who I know for a fact you wouldn't know it by the way they move, because they work for nonprofits and they got their shit together and they always come across crispy. But I know for a fact they be living on a shoestring budget and they be saving bread. And it's when I really recognized that one day, I was like, God damn, I got a lot of respect for you. You know what I mean? Because you can take your ass out to eat, and then you eating tuna casserole for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I just got a lot of respect for the parents who put that aside their kids. My mom tried. I remember we was balancing the checkbook, and I was like, watching whatever was on Nickelodeon as you were talking to me, and it was going in one ear or the other. But yeah, just respect for people who try to set up the kids the right way, because to some extent those are the people who are like keep the capitalism flowing. You know what I mean? And keep things going in this country, because God knows it ain't these other motherfuckers who spend all their money on Gucci belts right now or whatever the fucking new trend is. And I ain't dissing y'all as much as the other people play a really important role in making sure that, you know, the world keeps spinning.
I also own a Gucci belt.
Somebody gave it to him. It was gifted. Somebody did this.
I own like 9 of them.
Here you go, Asa.
On their knees.
I don't need this anymore. Do you want my pants too? It's like, God damn.
Oh, they did. They bought him a new one.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it came with the box. Make me sick, Asa.
Asa's like, this is not a chain. This is this also part of the Gucci belt? Oh yeah, I didn't need it anymore.
And it's a car.
It's called Jupiter. Jupiter is abundance.
Oh yeah, I had to double check to make sure you had on Yeezys. Who has a pair of Yeezys for every fit?
I'm about to buy some Yeezys.
Go for it, bro. Go for it. Ooh, what if we all had Yeezys for our photo shoot?
Look what I got on the kill.
Hey.
We all rubbing off.
We going sock crazy?
Hey.
Oh God.
That's the end of the episode.
All right,
ridiculous.
I don't know. You're gonna have to watch this episode to see the end,
I'm
because
wearing my nice, boring white socks.
you got to watch this episode now to see the end, because the end
suckers.
has a
That's
crazy.
the title. That's the title of this episode. This episode sucks.
Gang.
Play on words. All
All
right,
right.
y'all. End of 37. Good episode. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.